How do you write slow and steady like a tortoise and sprint like a hare as well? That's today's topic. Welcome back. I'm Dr. Denise. Today I want to revisit that fable of the tortoise and the hare. You know, I talk a lot about how important it is to have both the discipline, the slow and steady consistency of the tortoise, but we also need those writing bursts that we get with the hare. So today I want to encourage you to tweak how you harness the power of both. You know, we are so tempted to write like hares. And in fact, nearly everyone that I know who is having trouble finishing a book is having trouble because they're trying to write like a hare. They're trying to write their book in writing bursts. And writing bursts feel really good. They energize us. We make a lot of progress in a short amount of time. And so they're really appealing. But with large projects like a book, you cannot write them like a bunny. It's why rabbits don't write books. It is really hard to finish a manuscript when you are only writing in writing burst, which is why over and over I keep saying 500 words a day, about 30 minutes a day. Establish that consistency and then sprinkle in the strengths of the hare. Slow and steady writes the book, which is why it is the foundation of this method. It is great for big projects, and it's a way to get some momentum over time. And here's another reason it does not work to write only in writing bursts. There is this faulty thinking that 30 minutes a day is 3.5 hours a week. And so if you just write for, say, 3.5 hours on Saturday, it's the same thing, right? But it's not. 3.5 hours is not the same as 30 minutes, 7 days a week. And here's why. If you are a tortoise and you are only writing for about 30 minutes a day, you have to be really focused and you have to write quickly, which often means that in that 30 minutes, you're writing more than 500 words a day. You don't have to, but generally I can type more than 500 words in 30 minutes. But if you are writing for 3.5 hours in one block, you cannot write that quickly and that efficiently over the entire 3.5 hours. What I have observed in my own writing is I can write 500 words easily in 30 minutes. I can generally write 1,000 words in an hour, but in 2 hours, I can't write 2,000 words. In fact, it almost always takes me about 4 hours to write 2,000 words. The longer I write, the slower I get. The more quantity of time, the less words per minute that I am averaging. So 3.5 hours once a week, you will average less words than 30 minutes a day. That's reason one why writing in writing burst isn't as efficient. But there's another even more important reason. You may be writing for only 30 minutes, but because you are in your manuscript every day, you also are thinking about it in the shower, or when you read an article or watch a show, you get ideas that tie in with what you are writing. And so you're often inspired and you're doing a ton of thinking time about your book very informally throughout the day. But if you're only writing 3.5 hours once a week, you may only do that 1 or 2 days in the week. And you're missing out on all of that thinking and all of those ideas that could be coming to you if you were writing consistently. And that, my friends, is gold. The third reason it doesn't work as well is because hares need recovery time. You can work intensely for a short amount of time and get a lot done, but then you need a rest. You need some recovery time. You need a break. And what often happens with those hares that are trying to write books in only writing bursts is that they may carve 3.5 hours out of their schedule this week, but next week is really busy, and my goodness, that's almost an entire afternoon. And so next week it's really hard to do that. And so they miss a week. And then the next week they forget because they haven't written in 2 weeks anyway. And then as time has passed, it's even harder to get back to the writing project. So writing bursts are incredibly efficient in the short term, but they are not very efficient over some big project like writing a book. And you know, what we know about really prolific writers, those writers who seem to produce a lot, is that they write a little bit consistently over time. Now, I don't want to overlook the hare. This method is built on the tortoise and that daily discipline. But once you have mastered that, if you bring in those writing bursts and the strength of the hare, then you can up your writing game even more. So let's talk about harnessing the power of the hare in the next video. Meanwhile, if you want to watch more, watch one of these.